Hi, my name is Michael Friedlander, and I wanted to welcome you to the Gift Tree. I thought in this brief video what I would do is introduce you to the program, tell you what inspired it, tell you what our vision is, tell you what makes our program different to other storytelling programs, and finally tell you what we're hoping to accomplish in this whole deal. Before I do, though, there are two bits of housekeeping that I really just have to attend to very quickly. Firstly, I have to answer a question which I'm sure is buzzing around your heads already. Yes, I am originally from South Africa, and no, I don't have an accent. I never have had an accent. I've always spoken like this. And frankly, I don't understand why people think that I have an accent, because as you can hear, I don't. As for you, I'm sure that most of you do have accents, but that doesn't bother me at all. Don't worry about that. Doesn't bother me a bit. The second bit of housekeeping relates to an ugly rumor that's been swirling around that I have a strange sense of humor. To all of those of you who think that, I have to agree that you are probably right. But I will do my very best in this video to make it as painless as possible for you. If you do experience any pain, my advice to you is just turn this off, because everything I'm telling you, you can find on our website, which is www.thegifttree.com. And we've done our very best to make this as difficult as possible for you to find by requiring hyphens between each word. So it's the-gift-tree.com. Don't ask me why. I'm embarrassed to share that with you. But that, folks, is the end of the housekeeping. So let's get cracking. Firstly, what inspired our program? Well, it was a Native American saying and a profound Nelson Mandela thought. The Native American saying went something like this: "Tell me the facts and I'll learn, tell me the truth and I'll believe, but tell me a story and it'll live in my heart forever." And I thought that was so cool. The Nelson Mandela thought was profound, and I'm kind of paraphrasing it, because what he said was sort of like this. He said our lives are going to be judged not by the mere fact that we've lived, but rather by the difference we've made for the better in the lives of those we've touched. And I thought that was really, truly profound. So what we then did is we simply connected the dots. What I asked, if we could find stories that could live in your hearts forever, but that also bore gifts that could make a difference for the better in your lives. Wouldn't that be a truly wonderful program? And that, folks, is what gave birth to the Gift Tree. And that's why we called it the Gift Tree, because it's really about the gifts that our stories offer. Now, what about our vision? Well, I have to say that our vision was molded in part by the fact that the founders of the Gift Tree all worked in international business. And as such, we worked with a lot of people from around the world, people of different cultures and ethnicities, I suppose. And what struck us is that while there were clearly cultural differences, there were also cultural similarities, but when at the end of the day we landed up having a drink somewhere in some far-off land and we shared stories, those stories transcended cultural barriers. Which is why our vision for the Gift Tree has a truly global connotation, if you like. So this is our vision. It's to create a global community of storytellers that tell stories to young people of any age around the world who love the idea of making a difference for the better in people's lives. That's our vision. At the end of the day, we see ourselves kind of like the TED organization. We see ourselves as inviting speakers from around the world to share their stories at live events that we'll record, and then sharing those recordings with whoever wants them. How are we going to power our vision? Well, we're going to power it through people like you and your friends, through the great corporations, and through a foundation that we've created that will help fund the project and help us bring our agenda to reality. So what makes our stories different? What makes our program different to other storytelling programs? Well, we think it's because all of our stories share the same 4 characteristics. And in fact, if any of the stories submitted to us don't have all four, they won't qualify. So what are the four? Well, firstly, all of our stories are stories. They're not streams of consciousness. They're not reflections from an icy mountaintop. They're not lists. If you want to know the 10 best ways to cook tuna or the 5 easiest ways to get laid in West Los Angeles on a Thursday night, you're not going to find them on the gift tree. Although if you have any of this information, we'd be delighted for you to share it with us. But you're not going to find that on the gift tree. No, our stories are stories. And they are stories that would be of interest to everybody, to men, to women, to kids, to professionals, to everybody. So that's the first characteristic. The stories are stories. The second is that all of our stories have to offer gifts. They have to offer something that can make a difference for the better in the lives of those the stories touch. And in this regard, we see ourselves as equal opportunity gift givers because, again, the gifts have to apply equally to our kids and their teachers, to professionals and entertainers and artists and sports folks and beach bums and derelicts and anybody you can think of. They have to apply to everyone. Thirdly, all of our stories must be true because we believe totally what Mark Twain once said, which was that the truth is always stranger than fiction. Why? Because fiction has to make sense. And finally, all of our stories must be compelling and shareable. And think of it this way. You're going to have a drink with a buddy in a bar. You just heard our story and you feel compelled to share that story with him or her. So the stories must be simple and the gifts profound. So those are the 4 characteristics that we believe separate us from other general storytelling programs. Firstly, the stories are stories. Secondly, the stories must bear gifts. Thirdly, the stories must be true. And fourthly, the stories must be compelling and shareable. So what are we hoping to accomplish in this project? Well, what we're hoping to accomplish is that you'll join our community and that you'll enjoy our stories and that the stories really will offer gifts that can make a difference for the better in your lives. We're hoping that our stories and our program will inspire you yourself to dust off your old stories and share them. But above all else, to focus intently on how you can make a difference for the better in the lives of those you touch. We think this is a truly worthwhile program that can make a difference for the better in the lives of everyone we touch. So welcome aboard. Hope you'll enjoy it and that you'll be an active and enthusiastic member of our community.